searching for a missing boy near Oakland, California. 5-year-old Hassani Campbell disappeared last Monday. The little guy has cerebral palsy, wears tiny braces on his legs to get around. Now, police say he couldn't have gone far on his own. Hassani's foster father says he left the boy next to his car outside a busy shopping center where his fiancée works, who's Hassani's aunt, and says when he returned, minutes later, little Hassani was gone. Just like that, vanished. The FBI has now joined in on the investigation. We'll take your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Join me to talk about it, former FBI Special Agent in Charge, Don Clark, our forensic psychologist, Dr. Brian Russell, and with us, Jackson Vanderbeck, and staff writer for the San Francisco Chronicle. Jackson, what are police saying happened to this little guy? What theories are they going on here?
Well, they really don't know. I mean, all they have is the fact that the boy was left briefly alone in the back of the store by the foster father, who went around the front. And when they went to get the boy from the back, using the back door of the store, he and his fiancée discovered the boy was gone. And they've done a lot of questioning of the foster father in this case, and they talked to him about various things. They met with him again the other day, in which he took them to a automotive salvage yard which he had visited with the boy, and they've also gone out and searched a couple of marshy areas in surrounding communities, looking for whatever they can find.
Okay, Jackson, did anybody see Lewis Ross with little Hassani at either the auto parts yard or in the back of the stores, or any witnesses that saw the two together?
Actually, some employees of the parts yard said that they did see the boy crying during the day, and then the disappearance happened towards the late afternoon.
Okay.
But there's no sighting of the boy with his foster father at the store per se.
Okay, and explain that to me, Jackson, then we'll get Don and Brian in. So he goes from the auto parts store, drives to this it's a shoe place where his fiancée, who's Hassani's aunt, works, right?
That's correct.
Did he drive directly to the back of the store and let little Hassani off?
Well, he said that the plan was that he actually parked, and he says the last time he saw Hassani was when the boy got out of the vehicle. He could walk on his own.
Okay.
And he said he looked to the back as he went around to the front of the store, and saw the boy get out of the vehicle, and then he went around to go in through the front door, and then they were going to let the kid in through the back. And so, like I said, there's apparently no surveillance video of the rear of the store.
Okay.
There's no indication that anybody saw the boy or what had happened at that point.
Okay.
So that's where we are there.
Gotcha. Let me bring in Don Clark on that. And Don, raising a couple of sons myself, when they were 5, I wouldn't just drop them off anywhere. Right? Isn't that fishy to you?
I just continually be baffled when I hear these kind of activities, and I'm sure that the parents or the foster parents are grieving about whatever the situation is going on right now. But look, you don't leave 5-year-olds standing out there any place. And let me tell you, I still believe that child predators are the worst thing against little guys that's out there. So you got that to be concerned, and then you got just evil people to be concerned. Plus the fact you got the idea that the little guy could just wander off someplace.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of things in searching and so forth that the authorities as well as civilian help to help find this little guy can go through in those areas.
Okay, real quick about Hassani, Jackson. Little guy's got cerebral palsy. How does he get around pretty well to where he could walk from front to the back of the store?
Well, his foster father says that the kind of braces he wore were a sort of arch support style braces that weren't necessarily visible,
okay,
and that he could walk on his own for short distances without the aid. He could do that. So, but he does not believe that Hassani just walked away. That's what he said.
Okay, I got you. Brian, what do you make of this? Again, as a father, you look at that. So wait a minute. You would walk the little guy to see his aunt who works at the shoe store. You're not just dropping him off. Go ahead, Brian.
It doesn't sound like a walk-off. Don is right. It could be a random opportunistic pedophile in the area, but it doesn't really feel like that kind of a case to me either. I want to know more about this family, Mike, because we've got a foster father who's living with the aunt, but then reportedly there's also a stepfather involved. And the fact that the police have spent so many hours reportedly with this family indicates to me that they too are wondering if there might be a disgruntled family member somewhere who would have been out for an opportunity to pick this kid up.
Jackson, are homicide detectives, they're in on this case now, right?
Right. One full-time homicide investigator was brought in. They say because they're short resources and that they needed a veteran set of eyes looking at this.
Okay. Don, you read into that at all, or manpower shortage, would that make sense?
Yeah, you know, this manpower shortage, you can find some personnel from somewhere to help look for this little guy, and that's what they've got to do.
When we take a quick break, when we come back, we'll talk about the family situation that Brian touched on. Take your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN.